Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about reels. It's the only thing we're going to talk about. I have notes in front of me so I don't get off track. I'm going to give you guys some tips, I guess, that I feel like have worked for me, and I feel like they've worked for a lot of people. And I will start off by saying that I feel like reels, TikTok, traction in general can be extremely frustrating, but it takes patience and it takes consistency. I saw like a lot of girls, I know a lot of you know Abby, she's like the girl that everybody talks about with TikTok. She's had like a few TikToks go viral, and she's seen a lot of success. And sometimes you, because I know I did, I would get sit on her calls and I'm like, okay, this worked for her, but like it's not going to work for me. And I tried to do, like, if you go on my TikTok, you'll see, I think there's like 4, and I got frustrated. I'm like, this isn't working. So it could have worked. But what I felt like was going to work better for me was with Instagram. So you kind of have to put this into play. Like it could be for TikTok for you. If TikTok is something, or Facebook, like I don't really even know how Facebook works, but if you can implement this in any way, hang on, I got to change my settings on my phone. If you can implement this into Facebook in any way or anything, don't always put your eggs in one basket, but what you do need to do is just be super consistent with a few things to figure out what it is. So TikTok, I don't know if it was going to work. It could have, but I will say too, even with the reels, I've had many times where I got super frustrated. I felt like I was doing all the things. I felt like I was like posting and being consistent, and I was posting on my story and I was doing this and that. But two things can happen. You could be right at a break, like having a breakthrough, or you also have to kind of ask yourself, like, where is your mindset and where is your intention when you're doing all the things? Because just because you're doing all the things, it's just like with working out or eating or whatever. If your mindset's not there and you're not being super intentional with it, then it's not going to work. So I just wanted to say that before I go into my little tips for you guys. But so let's talk about, so the song I was just playing actually is like, it's been stuck in my head. So it was a trending audio, and it was one that I had used tonight. And that's one thing I want to tell you guys, is I get questions about this a lot, is how do you know if an audio is trending? You may know this, maybe you don't, but at the bottom where you're watching the reel, where it shows you what the song is, if it's trending, it will have the arrow next to it. And this is super important because you always want to use trending audios. And I'll be the first one. Kirsten can tell you this, is that I used to say like the trending ones don't work for me. I just wasn't connecting all the dots correctly. They do work, but I just wasn't posting right. I wasn't posting the right content. I wasn't posting at the right time. Trending audios is most important. So when you are looking for audios, make sure you're looking for that little arrow at the bottom. Bree, your little leopard dish gloves are like killing me. They're so cute, but I'm like trying to concentrate and not look at you. Okay. So the trending audio is super important. So if it just has like, I don't even know what it's called. It's like the music emoji, like a music note, that's not a trending audio. The other thing that you want to do is make sure that that trending audio doesn't have like millions of videos on it. So if you click on the audio, like you're going to use it, it'll say at the top, 4,000 reels. Like I think they said anything like under 10,000 is your video is more likely to be seen with that audio, if that makes sense. And here's the other thing that I've noticed is that when I find an audio that I like, if there is a lot of if there is a lot of videos already made with it, I normally won't do it. But here's the thing, is that you can go on someone else's video. Like, let's say I keep scrolling through the reels. Okay. And then the video pops up again, like the same audio, and you click on it. Sometimes there's different links to the same audio, if that makes sense. So like, it'll be the same song, but when I click on it, it'll say 2,000 reels have been made. And it's just because someone makes a different link. It could be like someone that created their own audio and they're using it or whatever. So just make sure that you always click on it, because I've almost done it back to back before. Like the song I was just playing today, when I was looking for it, somebody had used it and it was like a million videos had been made. And then the next one I swiped up, I clicked on it and it said 1,700 videos had been made. So that was the one that I used. So just make sure you pay attention to that. You want a lower number for the usage of that audio. The next thing is the cover photo. So this, I feel like, is equal parts as important with the trending music. So the cover photo, here's the thing, is that when you're on Instagram, okay, first of all, obviously your page, like that's what somebody's going to see. But when you're on like the explore page, and let's say it's a reel, like, you know, it's not the whole reel. Because here's the thing, is that when you have one like this one, I know it's hard to see my phone. Hang on. Let me turn the brightness down. So like this one right here with the fridge, like it's showing the full screen and she's moving around and it's showing her reel. But like this one of the girl posing, it's just a little square. You can't see anything other than the cover photo. So if your reel gets on the explore page, which it will, trust me, you have to make it something catchy for someone to click on. Or if they come across your profile and they're looking through just your page, the cover photo is so important. So 2 things with the cover photo. You want to make sure that whatever the picture is catchy, that someone would look at it and they would want to click on it. Like if we're just talking about hair specifically, which is what I'm talking about right now. But like Kirsten had done a video earlier and I went through and I was trying to like look at a screen grab of something that like caught my eye. Like, so she had like the mousse that she was playing with and she was talking about like, you know, how to blow dry or how to prep my hair for a blowout. So like the mousse in her hand, you know what I mean? Or like putting the mousse in her hand, or if it was you like spraying something in your hair, or maybe your hair is done, you know what I mean? Like at the end of the video, if you're doing a tutorial of some sort or whatever it may be. But just know that when you're looking at it and you're choosing the cover photo, if you were scrolling, I always literally try to remove myself. And if I look at it, I'm like, would I click on that? Would I click on the picture? The other thing too is that the verbiage that you put there. So like, I wrote some down. So a bunch of really good ones, if you guys want to like write these down so you don't forget, but like, you know, anything catchy, like tips on hair growth, or it could just be hair growth, or, you know, how to go 5 days without washing your hair, you know, like all these little how-to things, how to style your hair in less than X amount of minutes, you know, like things that you think people would look at and say, oh, I want to know how to do that. Another thing too, so how-tos is really important. That's one thing that you can do a million things on, how-tos. The other thing is things with your hair. Like think about all the things that you would want with your hair: shiny, volume, healthy ends, thick ends. So then on the reverse side, you could say what to do with dry, brittle ends. And it could literally be you sitting here like this, putting in the leave-in conditioner and the oil. And then in the caption, you're explaining, or in little screen grabs on the screen, you're explaining like what these 2 products are good for, because you want to pull people in with the reel, right? So every time you're going to make one, like before you do it, what I do like for the week is I just start writing things down as I think of it. So literally throughout the week, like when I'm in my car, I'll be thinking about like, okay, if I was not in this industry, what are things that I would want to learn? Like you almost have to put yourself in the consumer mindset, because you have to think, how can I get them to come to me? You want to solve the problems, you want to educate and demonstrate. So anytime you are making the cover, you want to make sure that that's on there for them to click on it. Like the ones for me that have gotten the most traction, like the one I just posted tonight, it says 3 hair tips I wish I knew sooner. So they have to click on that to see what it is. The other one says hair growth. All the ones that I've gotten the most are like hack, you know, volume hack, before and after. You know, educating like the hair growth oil versus the hair thinning serum. Okay, so just think about, maybe write down categories on a notepad. I'm pretty like chaotically organized, so that's kind of what I'll do, is I'll write down like how to and have a column, and then I'll put like, you know, educating or demonstrating the products, and then I'll have a column, and every time I think of something, I'll write it down underneath there. So the educating thing, think about all the things you can educate on with our products. The dry shampoo. The dry shampoo is growth promoting dry shampoo. I think that was one of the first ones that I finally started getting traction from. Was it's me standing in the bathroom. I was about to run out the door and I'm spraying dry shampoo in my hair. So it's not always the creativity of the video, but what it is the quality of the video. You want to make sure that you can see you good. Like this lighting right here, if you guys were sitting here to do a reel, like you can see your hair, you can see your face. Or like if you don't have natural lighting, like make sure it doesn't look super orange. Don't use a filter that makes you look super dark. You want to be able to see you and what you're selling, your hair. Or your skin, if you're talking skincare, but I'm specifically talking hair care, or in front of a window. Like I don't have a lot of like places in my house. There's windows everywhere, but the sun doesn't shine in them. There's one place in my room. There's a little tiny ledge, and you can see in most of my reels, I'm like in the same spot, either in the bathroom or my room, but where I'm standing, the light is perfectly shining in. So you can see good, because here's the other thing is that when they're scrolling through either your page or the explore page, if you are bright and light and you're popping up and there's big white wording that you can see perfectly, growth hack, dry shampoo that makes your hair grow, somebody is going to click on that. Like start looking at the reels that you click on. That's what I started doing is I started doing like going through other directors' pages and like just looking at their page and seeing what grabs my eye, because the more, it's almost like studying, the more that you guys look at that and intentionally pay attention, the more it's going to naturally start coming to you, and you're just going to start doing it because you know that that's what grabs your attention. Another thing when we're talking about searching is for tips on Pinterest and TikTok. So what I will do is, and I honestly, I know I probably shouldn't say this, but I don't like TikTok. I've tried so hard and I can't, but I go on there and I at least utilize it. So I'll go on to the search button and I'll type in hair tips. That was literally what I did today. And I got the 3 things from 3 different videos that I saw that I really liked. So you go on to TikTok or Pinterest, type in hair tips or growth tips or whatever it is that you're wanting to do that day. And like thousands of videos will pop up, and you don't want to copy it completely, but you duplicate it. So there was one, and this girl was talking, I mean, it was like a long video, but I wrote down like 20 different hair tips. Now I've got saved for at least 4 other videos in the future. And it could be anything that you could implement into our product. So she was talking about like an oil that she used. Well, obviously, and we know that ours is even better. So it's like use a growth oil, that's vegan and doesn't cause buildup. The other one she was talking about, I think one was like about shampooing twice. So, and they weren't even Monat girls. They were just girls on there giving hair tips. So go and get some ideas first from that or on Pinterest, and you will be surprised at something that you'll do that'll be unique that somebody will want to click on and learn from you. So go get tips and like get inspired and have a plan before you make your reel. The other thing is short caption title. So that's kind of back to the cover photo. So the other thing you can do is always save the video before you post it on the reel, right? Save it to your camera roll. And what I do is I'll go into my photo gallery and go through it and find a piece of it that I want to screenshot. If it's not going to be like where I have the wording on it, you know what I mean? So like on my video tonight, where it said 3 tips I wish I knew sooner, it wasn't on the place in the video that I wanted the cover to be. So I went into my photo gallery and paused it and screenshot it from there and then put the wording on it. So it was the picture I wanted with the wording, and then I could place the wording how it was supposed to be on the video. So make sure that the cover of it has clear white writing, okay? And it's bringing them to why they're going to click on the video. The other thing was, let's see, demonstrating the product. So I know this seems like silly to some of you, but think about what we do. People will not know how good the products are unless you show your hair and show how you use them. And this has taken me the longest time. And I know it seems so crazy, but it's like, for me too, it takes me a long time to do my hair. Okay. And so for me, I was like, this is crazy. Like I could be doing laundry and I've got other stuff to do and I've got other work to do and my kids and blah, blah, blah. Like I'm going to sit here and do my hair. But as silly as it sounds, that's what's going to make you money. The more that your hair is done, And the more that it looks good, because all of you guys have beautiful hair, but it's like you can't roll out of bed and then get on and be like, hey, I sell hair products, make your hair look like this, that, and the other thing. And they're like, what's this girl talking about? Right? Your hair has got to look good and presentable in the video. Okay. So you've got to put some time and effort into that. And then when you do it, batch the videos, like make 4 videos at one time, change your shirt or wear the same shirt. Okay. So, that is really important. And the other thing too, is that when you're doing other things with your hair, like putting the dry shampoo in, this is what I say all the time, is that everything is content, everything. When you go put dry shampoo in next time, if you can find good lighting, take 1 second and put your camera up or your Instagram story so you can pick a filter and whatever you want to do, and at least take the video and then make the reel later. Literally, of you putting in dry shampoo. Think about all the things you do with your hair, oil treatments, washing your hair, blow drying your hair, styling your hair after you go and work out and your hair's sweaty. When you go to bed, do you have a nighttime routine that you do to your hair? Do you sleep in a scrunchie? Do you put stuff in it before you go to bed? Do you touch it up between between not washing it if you have to style it in the morning? All these things are what are going to bring you guys customers, all of it. And the more consistent you are with it, especially if you go to your page, especially on your reels, if you were to click on your reels or just look at your page, at the end of the day, and this is another thing that I'm telling you guys from things that I've learned, was that for a long time, I was like, well, I don't want to just be like talking about Monat all the time. Like, I like to work out and I'm a mom and I like to do this and that. All those things are great. But at the end of the day, that stuff doesn't make me money. So if it does make you money, then of course talk about it. But if it doesn't, you can honestly squeeze those things in on your story. Other things that you do, like they call them your, my mind's blanking. They call them your
pillars.
What is it?
Pillars.
Your pillars. Your pillars. They call them your pillars. Thank you, babe. So you can have your pillars and you can do that in your story, but on your page, think about why you want people to come to you. And I'm like, I need people to start coming to me only for this. Like, this is what makes my family money. I need them to come to me for the freaking shampoo. So on my reels now, like I'm even sick. I'm looking at it. I'm like, my God, how many times can I stand like this with my hair in the freaking thing? You know what I mean? But that's what they're coming to you for. So if you even look at Abby's, like her TikTok, it's the same thing with her standing here doing something with her hair. It's like so repetitive, but it works because people know what to expect. And they're like, oh, I don't want to miss something. So I need to follow her and I need to remember to go back to her page, because if I want to know about hair, this is the girl that I need to go to. Or if you're doing hair and skin, you guys probably know, if you look at my stuff ever, like I don't really talk about the skincare. I love it and I use it, but the hair stuff is just my niche. So if both of them are, you can implement both. Like, what do you use on your skin at night? Every time you wash your face, like freaking make a video out of it somehow. Another thing with the videos is that, like, let's say you're doing a like get ready with me, or, you know, my morning routine or my nighttime skin routine or whatever the video is. If you're doing multiple things, make sure, even if you're doing the same thing, like I have a curl tutorial, that's a good example that you guys can look at. Like, it's not me physically going through every piece curling it. Like I go like this and then the video stops. And then the next video is like me with my hair already on the wand. So it's little clippets that keeps your attention, because it's not me physically going like this. Like you would be bored in 10 seconds and be like, I'm done. So it's super fast. So same thing, if you're doing like, you know, how I touch up my hair after I work out or whatever, like I'm talking 3 seconds, not even that, 2 seconds is you like brushing it. And then the next thing is you putting in your dry shampoo. And then the next thing is you blow drying your roots, like super quick snippets of each thing. Don't let it be like 30 seconds of you brushing your hair, because people will be done after 5 seconds of watching it. So keep their attention and keep all the little snippets fast, because what it also does is make them rewatch it, because they're like, shoot, I missed the third thing that she did. And so remember that when you're making videos, like go in and edit it and make those things super short. Back to demonstrating the products. The other thing too is that don't feel like, overwhelmed, like you have to know every single product and you're like, oh my God, now I'm like got myself into this whole other thing. I got to show the products. Cause really when you signed up, like that is what we're signing up for. This is the product that we work with. So if people don't know how it works, they're not going to buy it. Think about like furniture. Are you more likely to go in a store and sit on a couch and try it out and look at the color in person? Or maybe you would just, I don't know, would you rather just buy it online and just be like, well, hopefully it works? Like you want to know and see these things. So it's almost like being in person with people that you can't. You show them what my hair looks like before and after the dry shampoo, what my ends look like before and after touching them up. And that's what I mean by quick. Like that's a great example, is that like when you wake up in the morning or whenever your ends are looking dry, you could literally be like this in the camera and show your ends and like show them in the camera. And then the next thing could be, you know, a quick thing of you putting in the leave-in conditioner in your hand and then the oil, and then you put it on your ends and then you show your ends again and how different they look, like super fast, because that's how quick our brains work. But when you're showing that stuff, you are putting the products in someone's hand, basically, like, because they're like, oh my God, that's what my ends look like. I need that stuff. They want a quick result and they want you to find the solution to their problem. Okay. Another thing too is that the educating part can go in any type of video. Like you could, like I said, batching videos. When you do your hair and makeup next time, make 3 different videos where they look a little bit different. You know what I mean? You're standing different, maybe in a different room, whatever. If you could change your shirt, even if you're just showing your hair and brushing through it and spraying the dry shampoo, you could make those videos into anything. Literally, you could just be talking about, you know, read caption for more details. Okay. And then you go in the caption and here you are educating somebody on why they have to have this product. Okay. Natural and bright lighting. I kind of talked about that. Time for certain clips. I talked about that. Hang on. I have a screenshot earlier where we were talking to you about ideas for reels. So you have to find your niche. Okay. I feel like I have found mine and I want you guys to feel confident with that too. So like men in a barber shop, how many different ways can you use the oil in their beard after like a hot towel treatment, for hair loss, like whatever your niche is. Like a lot of moms are like, I don't know. I don't feel like they would come to me for these videos for hair tips or hair, whatever. They would, because think about how many things moms deal with. Postpartum hair loss. Even if you're not somebody that's dealt with this, think about all the things that we have that help with growth and postpartum hair loss. Talk about those things. Like I did not personally deal with it, but I know how to help somebody that did deal with it. Right. So talk about those things. Talk about, you know, if you're a mom and you need to, you know, have a simple routine in 5 minutes, you know, at the end of the night, or how to have a quick shower routine when you're a mom. Like you have to just really get into the creative part of your mind, especially when you're on Instagram. Like we can scroll all day long, but that does not make us money. What makes you money is producing. So when you're scrolling, be intentional when you're looking at stuff and like start getting creative, because I swear like that's the only way that I can get ideas is when I am intentionally on Instagram and I'm like, okay, I'm going to give myself 5 minutes. And in these 5 minutes, I'm going to literally sit and I'm going to scroll until I have found at least 5 or 7 things that I can duplicate. Because at the end of the day, I do think that there's many ways to work this business. You can totally do it in person and all these other things will work, but this can also work for you. And even if you're pulling in an extra, whatever, how many ever customers a month, it's a big deal, because when you make this video and you send it out into Instagram, again, it only takes one video, that one silly one that goes viral or that one that ends up on the explore page. And then all of a sudden you start getting followers, and it's a process. It will happen. And like I said, I've been super frustrated and felt like, I mean, damn, I'm doing all the things. Like I've been making reels every day. I'm using the hashtags, which is the last thing I'll tell you guys. I'm going to give you the hashtags that I use. Let me find that real quick. There we go. I'm doing all the things, but like, it's not working. But again, I wasn't being intentional about it. I wasn't really being consistent about the time. That's the other thing, is that if you go on your Instagram, you can look at your insights and you can see what time people are most active that follow you. And I think that that's super important too. You don't have to do it every single day, but I think for a while to like get a rhythm of it, that it's important to kind of post at the same time because, you know, people like that. They can predict, okay, like every morning she's posting a reel now about whatever, your hair tips. The hashtags, I guess I can just put those in the group chat, but again, think about things that people want to search. Okay. Hair growth hacks, men that are thinning or balding or whatever, postpartum hair loss, you know, damaged hair, how to repair damaged hair. Even like the hashtag how to, because people always want to look up how to what, how to, I don't know, make your hair grow, how to get healthy hair, how to freshen up your hair after a workout. All the things that you think someone would search for is what your hashtag should be. Like the rosemary shampoo, rosemary conditioner, growth oil, all the things that we have are all the things that people want. So just think about these things and just start implementing it and stay consistent with it. I think that that was all I had, unless you guys have any questions on anything that I talked about. That was basically everything. If you want to unmute and ask or put anything in the chat, I'll give you guys just a minute, but just trust me about being consistent with it, because again, it only takes one video for you to either get it viral or whatever. And then once you get that momentum, you can't let it go. You've got to keep the consistency. Like keep posting every single day. I think realistically, like 4 reels a week minimum is a good number so that you can get your face out there and kind of make it a habit. And show all the things that you guys use. Every time you use it, think about how you can make it into a reel. But that was all I had. Thank you guys for your time. Love you guys.